No idea if this is gonna work. I'm terrible at editing. Where do I put my hands? Hello, people of YouTube. This is Emily Stübing. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. If you have, you know what to expect, but if not, this is a place where I do a whole bunch of sewing videos, especially upcycling and swimwear. Those are my favorites. So speaking of which, today I'm doing somewhat of an upcycling haul, I guess you could call it. Basically, I went to Goodwill and I found a bunch of things that I wanted to upcycle, plus one old shirt from my closet that I just never wear, and I thought I would turn them into something new. So these are all projects that you can do with clothes that you probably already have and or can find at your local thrift store. So they're very easy, but I just kind of wanted to show you the possibilities when it comes to upcycling and show you what my process looks like. As you'll notice, it's kind of all over the place. I might cut some of these clips, but because otherwise half of the video would just be me going, I think I'm gonna do this, and then I start working on it and I change my mind and do something completely different with it. But that's just kind of how upcycling goes. If that's what your process looks like too, that's totally normal. I'll normally start to take something apart and then it ends up becoming something completely different than what I planned, and that's because you just kind of have to go with what the garment is telling you in a way, if that makes sense. Maybe I sound crazy, but that's what happened in this video, and it's kind of all over the place. But yes, I'm going to be upcycling an old off-the-shoulder / 3/4 sleeve shirt that I never wear, as well as a regular v-neck t-shirt that I'll turn into something more interesting. And I have two floor-length skirts that I got from Goodwill that I'm going to upcycle into new styles. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm excited. I also thought I would make this a little bit more of a vlog style video because I realized I'm a few videos deep now and you probably still don't know all that much about me. I explained a little bit in another video that I'll pop in now. But otherwise, if you don't know anything about me, I'll talk about that today, and I'll talk about why I've been AWOL. It's been like a month since I've made a video, but there's good reason for it. I have very exciting news, so I'm going to get started showing you how to make these designs, and we'll just have a bit of a chat and I can tell you what I've been working on. And yeah, that is the plan. It's kind of a hodgepodge upcycling video, but I'll break it up, so if you just want to see one of these designs, then go ahead and jump around. I'll pop the designs in now. So there are those 4 items that we're going to be making, and this is what they look like. No idea if this is gonna work. I'm terrible at editing. Where do I put my hands? Okay, hopefully that worked. But anyway, I'm gonna get started with that. So first things first, I thought I would get started with this long skirt. And as you can see, it's a little bit big, but it's not too bad actually. So I'm gonna take it in. Well, actually, the very first thing I'm gonna do is cut off the bottom of this. And I'll leave a little bit of extra length to kind of play with it and see where I want it to end up. But once I've cut off the bottom and I've seam ripped this actual skirt portion from this top part, then I can take in a pleat on one side, but where I want the slit to be, I might just cut it open completely, and I can take it in at the top, and then at the bottom I'll have an easy place where I can put that slit. I cut off the bottom of the skirt, and it's honestly crazy how much better it looks already. Also, I didn't change back into my dress because that's just not realistic. I don't wear that when I'm sewing. Pretty much just wear this kind of a thing, or pajamas, or whatever else I have that's comfy and easy to move around in. So yeah, that dress was going to be too much work. Now I'm going to seam rip all the way along here where each of these pleats are. I'm going to go just past each of those spots. And I thought, since I'm just seam ripping, that would be a good time to just talk and tell you a little bit about what I've been up to. Hold on, I gotta get this started before I start blabbing. Seam ripping is so fun. I love it. Alright, I got it going. So, yes, now I'm ready. Now I can start telling you about what I've been up to. So, Like I mentioned earlier, I'm very big on making swimwear, and I've gotten a good amount of interest in it, and at this point my goal is to turn that into a social enterprise where I sell ethical and sustainable custom-made swimwear. So I'm hoping that the custom-made aspect is something that will incentivize people to buy sustainably. And what's really important to me is to work with garment makers abroad and share their stories as a way of kind of bringing us closer through clothing. So that's the idea behind the brand. And as it branches out, I would even love to do good for the planet in that I go abroad to polluted beach environments and I hire locals to collect waste. And then that waste can be turned into swimwear fabric, and then I hire another team of locals to make the swimwear. So that is the idea for my social enterprise that I'm working toward right now. And I've just been feeling so lost figuring out how to create a business that really makes an impact and does good for other people on the planet. So I decided to go to grad school, and that is why I've been working on applications and studying for the GRE and figuring out funding and scholarships and all of that fun stuff. But it all paid off because I got into the program I wanted, which is at the University of Cambridge. So I may be moving to England soon. I'm not sure yet because the program is a mix between online and in person, so I can be anywhere. And now it's like, where the heck do I go? You know, maybe I'll go somewhere else in Europe, maybe I'll go there. I just have no idea yet. It's all up in the air, but it's kind of exciting. So that's why all of this fell to the wayside, and yeah, I've really missed it. So now I'm back and I'm going to quit blabbing and finish seam ripping. So I finished seam ripping and I did a little bit more than I said I was going to because I decided that I'm going to take this in at the sides. So that's the plan right now. I'm just going to take this in as you would with anything else. So I'm going to try it on now and figure out the sizing and start sewing. Also, once I'm done with that, as you can see, there's this part that I had to seam rip, and to make it fit once I've taken in the skirt, I'm going to have to cut it at one point, or at least like fold it over and add a new seam. So I'm going to try to line that up with the side seam whenever I've finished up with taking it in. What do you think, Scout? What do you want? Look at that face. Alright, so now I have taken it in. As you can see, this is a little bit long now, so once I'm done, I'm going to have to take this top part in too. But before I do that, I am going to do what I talked about originally, where I cut all the way down here and use that where I'm going to put my slit. And then after that, I'm going to reattach this and hem the bottom, and then I'll be done. Alright, so I kept working last night until I finished this skirt, so it's the first item that's all done. And as you can see, it turned out pretty well. It's pretty much just what I wanted. I'm pretty happy with the final product. So now I'm going to move on to the next thing. I have this very simple v-neck top that I got from Goodwill for like $1 or $2. And what I want to do with it is make it a little bit more interesting. And I have no idea if it's going to work, to be honest. But the plan is to cut off some of the excess fabric at the bottom and turn it into a long strap so that I can then make a casing for on this side and pull through so that it kind of scrunches up the fabric on one side and adds an interesting detail to the top. So I'll probably have to move that V over here so that it matches up with that detail that I want to add. But that is the plan. What I think I'm going to start with is seam ripping the neckline to see if I can move it over. I'm also going to start cutting off the bottom and making some strips of fabric that I can turn into straps to pull through the side of the shirt. Make sure to use a zigzag stitch for this, especially if it's a stretchy fabric. point I have adjusted this center part so that there's, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe what it is now, but I tried to make it go a little bit lower on this side so that when I have it all scrunched up, it won't pull on this top part in a weird way. So that part is done, and I also have my strap like I showed you. So now I found a piece of scrap fabric. Now obviously it doesn't exactly match this one, but it has about the same amount of stretch, which is the most important thing, especially because it'll be on the inside so you won't see it. Also, that's my dog squeaking on a toy in the background, so ignore that. What I'm going to do now is I am going to sew them in place straight down on the inside of the shirt and then sew in the middle so that it'll create two casings. So that will create two casings where I'll put my strap through and pull it together, and then it'll be done. Oh, actually no, I also need to hem the bottom really quickly, but that's all that's left to do. It sounds more complicated than it is. At this point, the rest of this project should be pretty easy. And I will just sew on either side, and then I'll sew straight down the middle. So that will create my casing, and then I can just use a safety pin to pull my strap through, and then I'll be done. This is how it turned out. I'm really happy with it, and the fact that it actually turned out how I imagined it in my head. So this is a nice, easy project to do to turn a simple shirt into something a little more interesting and fun. Now moving on to the next design and me changing my mind a million times. I changed my mind. This is normally how my sewing process goes. I think that I have a plan and then it all ends up changing once I actually get started. So this skirt I was going to make shorter and add 2 slits on the sides, but I thought that was just kind of boring and I would like to make use of all the fabric that I have. So instead, I think I'm going to do an asymmetrical skirt with a ruffle layer to it. It'll also be a pretty easy project, but it'll be something a little more fun and interesting. And yeah, I'm really excited about what this will be. I'm going to start by taking it in to make it fit my waist. I won't take it in too much at the side because I don't know how flowy I want it to be yet. For this asymmetrical skirt, I do want it to be a little flowy at least. So that's something that I'll fit later on. But yeah, first I'm going to fit it at the waist. Where the side seam is, on the other side, there's a zipper. So there's nothing I can do on that side unless I want to take it apart completely, which I don't. So I'm going to take it in from there. So first I'll have to do some seam ripping and detach this top part from the bottom, and then I'm going to seam rip here and along here, open it up and take it in. So that's the first step with this skirt. And as you can see, I made it fit in the waist, so that part is done. The fit is pretty good, so now I'm on to the asymmetrical portion of it. So as you can see, I cut off the bottom part of the skirt, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hem what I've already cut. It's pretty much the way that I want it to be, so yeah, I'm going to hem that, and then I'm going to add this as a little like ruffle layer along there. So I'm almost done with the skirt. I've hemmed it, so that's all done. I just wanted to show you the way that I do this and make sure that I have it laying on there straight. So what I just did was I laid it out on the ground, and I don't know if you can see that, but I have these little blue lines across all of it, which is where I'm going to line it up and sew. So I'm going to add the ruffle and then I'll be done. So I sewed that ruffle on, and this is the final product. Again, it's not a super difficult design, but turned out just how I wanted, and I hope you like it too. So we have this top that I've had forever. It's a 3/4 length sleeve with an like off the shoulder top. And I just never wear it because I can never find a time of year when I want to wear something that's off the shoulder but also have basically long sleeves. So today I'm going to be turning it into a short sleeve top, and I think I want to do a little bit of like a flutter sleeve or something, and hopefully that'll make it more wearable since it's just been in my closet for like a couple years now. What I'm going to start with is just by seam ripping all the way around the top. and removing this top part, and then I can use the bottom from there and turn it into something new. I guess I'll probably also seam rip the sleeves off, unless I feel like I can turn them into something new the way they are, but I probably can't. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll seam rip the top and the sleeves off to start with.
If I may, Rory Gilmore, Yale Daily News. While I agree that there's no greater or more important...
Hey guys, so this is day 3 of working on this, I believe. Please pay no mind to the fact that I'm still in my pajamas and just woke up, still drinking my coffee. But I thought I would get started on this last design and finish it up this morning. It shouldn't be too complicated, and I finally figured out what I want to do, but I can't explain it very well, so I'm just going to show you and then do a voiceover and explain each step along the way. Alright, so I've got coffee in my hand and all is right with the world. So now that I have my space set up, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to fit it to my body first, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball that because I've done it a million times, and yeah, I just like to fit it as I go. As you can see, maybe or maybe not, I took this in on the sides. So now that that's fitted, the next step will be to, oh, I'm dropping things. The next step will be to strap, I can't talk at all, it's too early for this video right now. Will be to make straps out of this extra fabric that I have from the top, and I'm just going to make them the exact same way that I did with the last top. So, yes. Alright, so you can see now how this shirt looks. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cut off the top part and create a new top for it. So first things first, just going to line this up and cut this off. And I don't need that. Also, as you can see, I finished my straps, so those are ready to go. And now what I'm going to do is create a different top for this. And the way I'm going to do that is I will use my sleeves and an old existing top, swimsuit top of mine, to get the shape that I want. If you're doing something like this, you could also use a sports bra. Like, you can really do whatever you want that works. So first, I'm lining these up. I'll also keep my shirt at the bottom just to know how wide I need it to be. And now I'm kind of gonna eyeball it. So here's the top that I'm using. It's an old one that I made. First, I think it would be best just to cut this bottom piece off so I have a straight edge to work with. Now I know I need it to go at least out to here, and then I'll want to attach it to a back piece, but I'll show you that in a second. My plan is to just do a 2-strap kind of thing coming out of here, and then I'll attach it to the back side. So I'm pretty much just going to elongate this into a triangle that will go around and attach to the back. And it'll also be 2 layers that I can sandwich the straps between and sew it together. I'll show you the pieces once I'm done cutting. So I cut those pieces on the ends, and I've sewed them on, so this is what the top piece is looking like right now. And at this point I am ready, well, I have a second one that is exactly the same, but at this point, before I sew that together, I'm going to put the straps in place. And now I can put this on top, line everything up, and sew it in place. Alright, I have sewed all of this together and attached the straps to the front and the back, and now all that's left to do is attach it to the rest of the shirt. I attached the top part, so it's all done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think this will be much more wearable for me. And then in the back, I have this little detail with the extra straps. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And finally, here's the finished shirt that I changed my mind about a million times, along with the first skirt that I showed you. I hope you try it out and hope you like them too. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Sorry if this looks a little bit different. My real camera died, so I'm just filming this on my phone really fast. But anyway, yes, I hope that you liked this. Let me know if you did, or if you have any questions, just comment below and I will get back to you. Also, tell me what else you want to see me make. If you see something on Pinterest or Instagram or wherever, send it to me. I linked my Instagram below and you can send me a direct message, or you can tell me on here what you want to see me make. I'm looking for new video ideas, and I'm going to be posting a lot more regularly now that I have the whole grad school part, like application part behind me. So now's the time. I'm going to be working on it, and I want to know what you want me to make. So yes, and sorry this video got so long and it's kind of a hodgepodge, but I hope you liked it anyway and found something to make while we're just at home most of the time anyway. I mean, it's the perfect time to sew right now. So yes, I hope you try these out. If you do, let me know how it goes. I can't wait to hear about it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and oh, obviously, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because I'm going to be making a lot more of these, like I said. So keep your eyes open, and I will see you next time. Bye!